help us learn more about the much anticipated launch of Union Digital, we have its co-founder and CEO, RV De Vera. RV, also, thank you for joining us.
Good afternoon, everyone. Hi, Pinky.
Hi. We want to see you.
Yeah, my video is just being enabled by the moderator. Give me a second. There.
There you go.
There you go.
Go ahead, RV.
Okay. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. And thank you for this opportunity to share parts of the Union Digital story. When we started the digital transformation journey, our aspiration was to adopt the mindset and agility of a tech company, but retain the governance and trust of a regulated bank. That aspiration became a reality on December 2020 when the Bangko Sentral released digital bank regulations. 6 months later, Union Digital was born and operates as a tech company and also a bank. With that in mind, let's first define what a digital bank is according to Bangko Sentral Circular 1105, Guidelines on the Establishment of Digital Banks. The BSP defines a digital bank as follows. A digital bank offers financial products and services that are processed end-to-end through a digital platform and/or electronic channels with no physical branch, sub-branch, or branch-light unit, offering financial products and services. This means a digital bank completely operates and exists in the virtual. Customers interface with a digital bank through their devices, meaning there will never be a need for brick and mortar, branches, paper, or physical contact. According to the regulations, these are the allowable services of a digital bank. A digital bank can lend, can do loans, it can do time deposits, foreign currency deposits, it can invest, it can act as a correspondent bank for other financial institutions, it can do collections, it can issue e-money products, issue credit cards, buy and sell foreign exchange, present microinsurance services, and other activities as may be allowed by the Monetary Board. A digital bank is not allowed to have branches. However, the regulations do allow for the use of a head office for management and operations. But why a digital bank? What differentiates a digital bank from a traditional bank is its foundation. First, it's a chance to go back to basics. As a digital native entity, a digital bank exists in the cloud, not on real estate. That means it can easily address the pain points that exist due to manual operations. For instance, digital infrastructure is not subject to the same costs as physical infrastructure. By being cloud native, costs are lower while the quality of the product is still high, meaning customers have access to the best services at a lower price. A digital bank's design can be specifically tailored to address issues that have arisen in today's paper-based legacy banking processes. For instance, many Filipinos cannot avail of loans because they may not have traditional employment, own assets, or have a bank account, and therefore do not have sufficient information to generate a credit score. With digital, it is possible to assess people's creditworthiness based on thousands of data points and an algorithm, making it possible to tailor fit lending rates for clients based on their personal transaction data. Therefore, those who cannot establish credit under the legacy lending system may be given a chance to avail of loans under a digital bank. At its core, a digital bank opens the door to reimagining banking. It allows us to imagine a borderless future where sending remittances through blockchain incurs little or no fees, as opposed to the whopping 5 to 7% fees standard today. Imagine a kababayan transferring funds from Qatar in the Middle East to their parents in Surigao del Sur in mere minutes. Imagine a world where investors can be liquid at all times, where customers can get the solutions they need in just a few taps of the screen, and a future where financial errands can be AI event-driven. When we thought about the future of financial services, we knew that banks would need to digitize to stay relevant. That much was obvious. But how to digitize was a more complicated question. At Union Bank, we took 3 different approaches to solve that problem. The first is the newly transformed Union Bank. Another is UBX, the fintech arm. And then, of course, Union Digital, the digital native bank. Union Bank is the core bank and takes a hybrid approach to the future. It continues to undergo tremendous transformation to embrace the digital future and adopt as much of a digital interface as possible. However, it will always have branches and will continue to be a tether for the bank's ecosystems. Union Digital takes a 100% virtual approach. It will exist purely in the cloud, a built for digital banking platform that can address and embrace the emerging needs of a digital world. Lastly, UBX is Union Bank's fintech and venture capital investment vehicle. It's an accelerator for fintechs, and it aims to prepare for the future by investing in fintechs and/or creating its own. All of these approaches were developed to ensure that we would be best possibly positioned to offer financial services to our customers, regardless of how digital finance would evolve. And those possibilities were accelerated by these key disruptive trends that are now driving exponential growth. First, in fintech, we've seen enormous growth. In the Philippines alone, we've seen it 5x. Our very own UBX and the services have grown exponentially, as Henry mentioned earlier. In terms of blockchain adoption, Ethereum transactions in the past 6 years have grown 36x. MetaMask users have grown 2x in the last 3 months. And open finance has been a priority of the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas and in the region, the Monetary Authority of Singapore, to drive more interoperability and digital transactions. And that opens the floodgates for even more digitally enabled transactions. Most of all, what's exciting really here is that the Philippines is at the forefront of this wave. We are the 4th fastest growing digital economy in the world, according to the Financial Times. The Philippines has had over 20% digital transactions in 2020, up exponentially from 1% in 2013. And according to the BSP's projections, that figure is expected to reach 50% by 2023. There are over 250 fintechs operating now in the Philippines. 4.36 million Filipinos own cryptocurrencies. And we are the first in the world in NFT ownership. The play-to-earn phenomenon has exploded here with 3 million daily active users on Axie Infinity, 40% of which are Filipino. That's a 2x growth in daily active users in the last 6 months. Digital is here, and yes, the Philippines and the Filipino is at the center of it and driving it once again. Just as when we were the texting capital, when texting first came out, and again, when social media emerged today. When social media emerged. Today, though, for the 6th straight year, the Philippines remains the top in social media usage worldwide, with 4.15 hours a day. We are also the highest in internet usage at close to 11 hours a day. Meanwhile, we are also above the global average for e-commerce adoption. The global average is 76.8%, while the Philippines usage and adoption here is 80.2%. The opportunity for the Philippines to emerge as a world leader in this industry is before us, but we need to seize and maximize the present opportunities in order to make it there. Union Bank is the only publicly listed bank to be granted a digital license by the Bangko Sentral. That means we have the pedigree, the history, the experience, and the strength of a universal bank parent capable of bridging the regulatory gap between the technologies of today and tomorrow. We are best positioned because of our trailblazing leadership in fintech, blockchain, and open finance. And most of all, our roots are here. We are here for the Filipino, and we're here to stay. In our experience in co-creation and collaboration with fintechs, we know how to turn emerging innovations into real products and put them in the hands of our customers. We establish working relationships with global fintechs to become recognized as fintech leaders in the Philippines. We embraced blockchain early as a powerful technology that could help in our transformation and with our mission to drive inclusion. Our work with I2I, the launch of our stablecoin PHX and Bonds PH, to name a few, demonstrates Union Bank's commitment to implementing exciting new blockchain technology into actual use cases that allow fellow Filipinos to do more with their money. For those unfamiliar with I2I, I2I is a nationwide blockchain network that facilitates the participation of rural banks and other financial institutions into PesoNet and InstaPay. In 2019, we connected this I2I network to OCBC Bank in Singapore to pilot a near real-time remittance from a Singapore account to a rural bank account in Surigao del Sur. To power these payments, we created our own CBDC, commercial bank-backed digital currency, known as PHX. Bonds PH is a partnership with the Philippine Bureau of Treasury that allows users to digitally purchase bonds and record those transactions on the blockchain. All of this was approved by our very forward-looking and innovative Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas. Lastly, we championed open finance in the Philippines by creating APIs to connect our partners to ourselves, our partners to one another, our partners to suppliers, and also to the world. Our award-winning Open API portal, which is like a Netflix of APIs, enables companies, fintechs, and banks to work together better. For instance, our payment APIs are utilized to transfer funds from a Union Bank account to a digital wallet, e-commerce platform, or fintech in real time, and in a secure manner. By making payments to these platforms easier than ever, we support Filipino industry and empower its growth. Finally, our partnerships with APIX by the Monetary Authority of Singapore and IFC World Bank opened up the Philippines to the world by connecting us to a global API exchange. That means more connections between Filipino businesses and global industry leaders. With that, I'd like to summarize. While Union Digital aims to empower the country's digital economy, we also aim to elevate it by bringing trust and governance into the space. We embrace innovation like a fintech, but offer all the powers, experience, and track record of a fully regulated bank. At the heart of our work will always be the desire to provide our customers with what they want, what they need, while ensuring that they have what they need also in terms of security, compliance with regulation, and proper governance. We will be a bridge between decentralized finance and traditional banking, leading our customers through this new future. And most of all, we are anchored on solid leadership with decades of industry experience, leadership that understands the value of being first movers and is willing and ready to boldly take those steps. With that, I'd like to leave you with a quote from a famous banker who said, "Go as far as you can see. When you get there, you'll be able to see farther." Thank you and good afternoon.
I think I'm speaking for everyone here in saying that we're all excited to try out Union Digital. Arvi, thank you so much.